overcame them, and I went again, and I refused to take no for an answer within legal, moral, ethical context, and I got on with it, right? And that's the main thing you've got to think about, is that when a man refuses to take action, refuses to do the things he must do, that thing costs him for the rest of his life. As far as you don't know what the ripple effect would have been. 30 years ago, if you had opened a casino, you might have been a trillionaire. Who knows? There's all kinds of things that you could say, oh, it's his fault, it's her fault, but ultimately, the underlying root of procrastination is people don't want to take action, and the reason they don't want to take action is because they're scared of being uncomfortable, and they're scared of having failure and being judged. And it's just like, listen mate, just do the thing and you'll get to the point where it'll actually have a positive or negative result for you. Hopefully it's a positive result, and if it's a negative one, you can learn from it. You can retune your next action. You can say, right, we need to do a bit of course correction, and on the next step we're doing this, and on the next step we're doing that. But if you don't do it, you'll just end up in that same situation. Right, so let's talk about the solution. That's the problem section gone, right? And the context section gone. Let's talk about solution as being a solution orientated men and women, that we're trying to get some outcomes here. And right, so the first thing you need to do if you're experiencing procrastination is that you need to basically have a set of goals and outline what the goals mean to you and why you want to do them, what's your reason for doing them. And when you have your goals aligned, split them down into smaller targets, 3 monthly, 6 monthly, daily, monthly, weekly targets, and ensure that you are doing the minimum possible actions and outcomes. I'm doing a minimum of this action on a daily basis in order to get this result. And it's a very scientific way of looking at it. When you've got a function and it's a mathematical function, you've got an input, a function, and an output. Input is what you put in, function is the randomness of life, what happens in the middle, and the output is whatever the result is. And the beautiful thing happens in the function is that you can get lucky, you can get randomness, you can catch a wave, you can catch a trend, you might go viral. There's all kinds of things that happen in the function box. But unless you have that minimum input, you're never going to have the beauty of the function come to you, and you don't know what the outcome is. If you take responsibility for the input, take responsibility for the input, function, just leave it, and it will run its course. It will do what it needs to do, and then the output, or the outcome, is that what it yields you, what it comes back to you, whatever comes out. So that's the way you need to look at it. Break my goals down into smaller targets, into habits, into actions, and repeat those actions on a consistent basis. And that's one of the main ways. Step number 2, right, and this is a good one. Someone told me this one years back when I was struggling to start uni work. They said, right, open up a Word document every time you have to write an essay or do some piece of work, and on that Word document, just write the top title, write the date, and write the brief structure, the output. Say, right, this is an essay, we're going to talk about drones in construction, and the date is the 31st of Jan 2024, and effectively name the Word document and put it into a folder. And that way, the second time when you go back to it, you've already started. You've got over the most important thing, you've just started. Even though you haven't actually done the task, you've got over the thing of, oh, I've got to start this, I've got to do this. It's like when you go back to it, you're like, oh, I've already done a little bit of that. And that's a beautiful thing, because it tricks you into taking action. It forces you. You get to a point where you're like, right, I'm just going to do the outline. And when you start and you get into it, 10 minutes in, you're like, oh, 10 minutes gone by, I might as well carry on. I'll do another bit. I'll put a little picture in, I'll have a look on the internet, I'll see what's going on. And before you know it, it's finished. So that's the second kind of actionable solution for you, for people who are procrastinating and not taking action. Okay, so the third thing that you need to pay attention to, and it's a great one, is that there is a thing, and it's called a legend planner. And so I will, this, don't know if you can see it, this is called a legend planner. This book has completely revolutionized my life. I'm not endorsed by them. They don't even know who I am, but you need to get one of these, because it's the best 25 or 30 quid you will spend all year round. You will get more value from buying one of these than you will buying 3-4 rounds of drinks, or one if you live in Chelsea, and you'll actually add something of value to your life. Now, the beauty of this book is, and first of all, it has a great one. has a great cover and stuff, and it's a well-made book. But effectively what it does is, right, it breaks down your days, your weeks into days. You've got Monday to Sunday on there. Below you've got habits, so you've got habit sections. So I've got gym, run, post, video, what does that one say, network, sauna, walk. And then I've got personal actions and to-do list, and then work to-do list. And every day you've got hours in there, and you fill out what you're actually doing when you wake up and live. A lot of people are just drifting. You get up in the day and you know that you live today, but you've got no real actionable, tangible outcome. You literally just know that, all right, today is the, let's have a look. It's the 17th of Jan, 2024. I know that I woke up today, I woke up at 7 a.m. What did I actually do? And you realize that most people spend a vast majority of their time in unconsciousness. And there is a time for unconsciousness, and no one should be on all the time. But when you actually look at the reasons, you're like, okay, if I'm trying to get things done, surely I've got to do things on a regular basis. You must buy one of these, 25, 30 quid. I'll put a link in the comments section below. And it's fantastic, and it's a beautiful way to keep track of your life. And you know, right, I've got gym this week as one of my habit trackers. And the reason why I've got gym is because it ties in my overall health goals. And my targets were to go to the gym 3 times a week, and it's Friday and I've only been once. So that means if I want to hit my target and my goals, I've got to go Saturday and Sunday now as well. I've got to go the other 2 days. And that's how you keep track of your output in life. Otherwise, you know, your main resource, your most precious resource, which is time, just drifting by, floating by, not producing anything for you. It's not productive, it's not effective, it's not efficient. It doesn't do anything. What's the point of being alive if every day is just drifting? If you're merely existing, nothing actionable happens, there's no outcome. So, you know, they've got month and year parts. I don't really fill these out, but you know, each month you can write down if you've got, let's say, networking every Friday in Mayfair, or you've got, you know, yoga every Thursday morning at 6:30 a.m. You can put these things in. You've got rugby on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock at night, or on a Sunday. You can put these things in and just keep track of it visually. And you know, this book, I was looking for a good one for a while. It's got fantastic build quality, and it's great. It's great to have a look. You've also got 3-month goals. So again, look, breaking your year down into targets, into visions, into dreams, into goals. So even if I run through it, it starts off right with the dreams, and there's the 100 spots for all your dreams, right? And you can put down here, look, my target next year is to buy a house. My target is to travel the world. I want to drive supercars, I want to date beautiful women, or whatever the target is, you can put it into this book, and it will basically, you know, give you a sense of direction in life. And then you've got awareness and self-discovery. So, you know, it asks you a lot of questions about life. You know, what brings me joy and good feelings in life? What am I passionate about? You know, what would I do if money wasn't an issue? And it's not just materialistic things or sensual pleasures, it's actual getting to the root of who are you as a person and what do you like. So you go through these, and then you have your journey, and it has 4 steps on here. So it has my current situation, which is taking stock of where you are now, and you must be honest with this element, because if you're not honest, you won't get anywhere. And then what is your vision? So where are you now? Your vision is where you want to go. Right? Why you want it, which is the motivation, the reason why, and then the strategy. So how am I going to get there? So where am I now? Where do I want to go? Why do I want to go there? What's my why? What's my motivation? And what's the strategy that you're going to use to get there? And it's fantastic. And that, you know, there's 8 spots for that, and it covers everything from health and fitness, personal development, career, business, financial, romantic relationships, family, friends, quality of life, spiritual elements. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And then you've got my vision, my mission, my daily rituals, my habits, my goals, you know, and it breaks it all down. My most important 1-year goals, my mind map, my tactics. Well, how am I going to do it? What are my little gambits and things? So, you know, this will be one of my main kind of things. You know, if you're procrastinating and you need to take stock of your life, and you're worried about how much time's left on the board, and you know that it's ticking, or every year gets slightly quicker, Get one of these books, and it will transform the way that you are, you know, spending your time. And if you're procrastinating, you won't be able to procrastinate anymore because the book's keeping track of you. You can look at it afterwards and say, right, I want to get lean, I want to be running a marathon, or I want to get in shape. I haven't run in the last 6 weeks. I tell everyone I've got a new pair of running trainers and I don't run. What kind of a man am I? Then you know, you want to be a man of your word and be an honest man and be a straight man. You know, you need to basically keep track of your habits, because that is what you're doing on a regular basis. So that's definitely another one of the tips. Another actionable tip, another actionable tip, my personal opinion, would be, I would suggest or recommend you take stock of all the habits that you're currently engaged in, which are negative habits, which are not producing an outcome. So if you drink regularly, if you smoke regularly, if you're watching a lot of porn, if you're you know, drinking, smoking, getting on it, raving lots, if you're doing things on a regular basis which are damaging your output and stopping you from moving forward in life, you must stop those things immediately, because they're making you worse as a person. They're zapping all the energy out of your system, and suddenly you're wondering, like, scratching your head like, oh, when I wake up in the morning, you know, I can't be asked to do anything, and why is that? And that's because you're zapped, mate. You're juiced, everything's gone. If you was a phone, you'd be on 0% when you wake up. How are you gonna use the phone? You've been running it all night, 100 applications, it's not gonna work, is it? So it's common sense. You charge your phone, charge your system up as well, right? So that's one of the final ones. And yeah, look, procrastination is a very easy thing to overcome. The main thing is, when you shift your mindset in a positive direction, you know, you are able to overcome the fear of failure, the fear of perfectionism, the fear of being judged, the fear of like not achieving it not being perfect. You just get over it. Like, listen, I've got to do things. I might not like doing it. I'm just going to get on and do it. Like, it's not rocket science. I want something from life. This is what I want. Here's how I'm going to get it, and I'm just get on and do the thing. Like, it's not difficult, but it's so hard, because it causes people to step out of unconsciousness and step into being conscious and taking responsibility and saying, yo, I'm responsible for the outcome. It's down to me what happens here, right? And you know, once you do that, it's fantastic, because you don't look at it the same way. It's not a, you know, right, I've got to do something. And my life is like that now. I get up every day, I do hard things. I'm on a fantastic routine. My body's used to it. I just do one hard thing after the another, one hard thing after another. No one comes and pats me on the back to say, well done, you've done another hard thing. I just get on and do it. And that's how I build my life around actually doing difficult tasks, being uncomfortable all the time, and making sure that I'm pushing myself on a daily basis, so I can look back one day and be proud of what life I've achieved, because I've always done the things which are difficult, and I've never shied away from working or putting in the hard yards, because ultimately the only thing you really have is your conscious attention and your hard effort and your hard work and your effort. And if you're not willing to put even your hard work and your effort and your energy in, those are things gifted to you, blessed by God, then what you saw, money's not going to help you, because you're still going to be depressed, or you're going to be sat in a situation where you're worried about taking action on a regular basis. So it's not rocket science. When you start taking action, it becomes a habit, and after a while you just move from one thing to the next thing to the next thing on your to-do list. And at the end of the week, you sit there on a Friday, you're like, right, I've got 2 days to chill now. I can sit here for a whole day and watch movies and do nothing, because I've been so efficient in the week time that it allows me space to actually enjoy myself and unwind and decombobulate and just relax. And you know, it's fantastic. So that's another one. You know, just do the thing, make a habit of doing the thing, mentally shift to a point where you've overcome the fear of failure, fear of rejection. You know, strategize yourself, keep track of your habits. You know, cut out all the things which are draining energy from your system, and just get on with it, right? Before you know it, you've done all these things, and people are looking at you and telling you, you're not old enough to be doing this, you're not old enough to be doing that, you're a bit young, aren't you? You're a bit early, you know, early in the game. It's like, yeah, so what? There's people far younger than me have done a lot more in life. But you know, when you're around mediocre people, they can only judge you by their own mediocre standards. And that's the thing about it, is that when you honestly take stock of your life and your resources, you'll realize you've got a lot more in your plate than you could have. Or if you don't, you'll start making moves to a place you can actually create a life that you want to be in, and one that you're not running away from on a daily basis. So on a weekend you're getting high and you're drinking and you're getting pissed and going to the rave because you hate your life. You know, sometimes it's all right, but if that's a regular basis, you got to take stock and say, do you know what is it that I'm running from, and why am I running this hard, and why can't my day-to-day existence be beautiful? And therefore, even if I do go out raving, I'll just drink water, have a nice water, have a cigar, chill and relax. You know, don't have to be out there and mash like the rest of them. So I think it's very important to think about your resources, and procrastination is a very deep-rooted psychological thing. When you're able to overcome procrastination, it's fantastic. You'll think you have superpowers, because you're cutting across the matrix, you're making moves, you're cutting shapes in spaces that people didn't know existed. You're like, well, you know, I just took action, I'm not an expert in this, I'm just take action, and I'm constantly course correcting, and I get to a point where suddenly, you know, the things that I'm focusing on have popped up. It's like, it's not rocket science, but you know, the initial thing is do what you can do, take control of your life, take control of your thoughts and your actions, and the rest of it just comes on by itself. Now, it doesn't mean you won't slip up, and none of us are perfect, and we all go through phases depending on emotional states, moods and whatnot. But you know, ultimately, if you are in a state, or you're in a mental state where you just take action, you're like, my life is going to be hard, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ride through it, and at the end of it I'm going to see what's up, and if I've succeeded I'm going to be so happy, and if I failed, that's fine as well, I would have learned something. So anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video today. I'm up to 250 views so far. I've got 12 subscribers now, so I'm making big waves on YouTube. But yeah, let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Goodbye.